And now would you please welcome David Quantick.
In a week where the news has been dominated by death and taxes, war and beards, it's nice to focus briefly on something, well, completely different. There was a story in the news this week about two legendary TV shows, Game of Thrones and Monty Python's Flying Circus. One, an endless saga of weird creatures of legend, and the other, Game of Thrones. The two shows seemingly have nothing in common.
What creature of myth be this?
Hello, I'm a dragon. My name Smoke Too Much.
Well, you'd better cut down a bit then.
Sorry?
Nothing.
Funny? That was hilarious in 1973.
Not if you're a woman.
I am a woman!
But I digress a bit early on, frankly. I don't know if you've ever seen Game of Thrones. How could I? I'm not the NSA. But if you haven't, it's essentially Lord of the Rings without dragons. Except there are dragons. And giant wolves and evil spirits and zombies. It's based on a series of books by George R.R. Martin, who, despite his name, isn't a pirate who produced the Beatles. All the sexy characters in Game of Thrones are played by Americans who keep getting their jumbucks out, and all the less sexy characters have northern accents and are very stern.
Come, fair knight, won't you tarry a while? I'll get my jumbucks out.
No, lass, I'll not be stopping. I'm right through it, silly.
We've got tripe.
All right, then.
The weird thing about Game of Thrones is that normally things set in fantasy worlds, The Hobbit, the Narnia books, David Cameron's Big Society, are massively uncool. The only people who generally watch shows about rough, tough, jolly sort of warriors and busty dragon ladies are, and here I do generalise, young men who spend their time either online playing computer games featuring rough, tough, jolly sort of warriors and busty dragon ladies, or in their bedrooms painting figurines of rough, tough, jolly sort of warriors and busty dragon ladies. That's not entirely true. Sean Bean must watch a lot of this stuff, if only because he's in most of it.
Hello, Sean Bean here.
Sean, darling, it's your agent. I've got a marvellous part for you. It's for a new legal drama. You'll be playing a hotshot New York lawyer and single parent who tries to juggle work and fatherhood.
What sort of sword have I got?
You haven't got a sword, darling. You're a lawyer.
A lawyer?
Yes, darling.
I shall call my sword Lawbringer.
Game of Thrones, though, is really cool and trendy. It's this year's Breaking Bad, The Wire and The Sopranos rolled into one. It's got everything. Sex, violence, intrigue, wit, sex, violence, dragons, sex, violence, sexy violence and violent sex. Possibly with dragons. Game of Thrones has got great British actors like Charles Dance, Sean Bean...
I shall call this sword Sky Plus Bringer.
And Finchy from The Office. And it's got Tyrion Lannister, a dwarf with the wit of Oscar Wilde and the speaking voice of Victor Meldrew.
My lord, the enemy are at the gates.
I don't believe it! So that's Game of Thrones, and what of it, you may say? Well, reaching as I now do my point, it seems that someone has been putting Monty Python Easter eggs all over it. An Easter egg is a term from DVD lore meaning a hidden treat for fans. So if you're watching your DVD of, say, When Corden Met Barlow, and you click on Gary Barlow's nose, the DVD self-destructs. And on Game of Thrones, apparently, they've managed to smuggle in a whole series of Monty Python references via a most unlikely route. You know how in all fantasy or sci-fi shows there are huge chunks in made-up languages like Klingon or Elvish?
Thank you very much.
Elvish. Well, Game of Thrones is no exception. Their Easter egg is there for all to see. If you're watching one night and somebody says, please excuse the language, I don't really speak Low Valyrian, Bijan vavi dembel eva o trezi ema verge estomistos. Apparently what they're actually saying is this.
Ja, mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
That's right. As you may have guessed, it's a line from the film Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Because what the show's translator did is he sneaked in that line for the benefit of Game of Thrones fans who speak low Valyrian and like Monty Python. Which, come to think of it, is probably all of them. But, according to Game of Thrones translator David Peterson, the following line, sadly, was cut. Gorganji pongova o, ninta dova dedi vesterosi azizentis. The repeated Zs there, clearly mimicking the overemphasized Gs of this.
Ah, blumman at you, so-called dragon queen, you and all your silly Westerosi kniggets.
Which, I'm sure you'll agree, is a shame. But I wonder if anyone else has sneaked in a tribute to their own favourite shows.
Prime Minister, is it or is it not true that they don't like it up?
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Come on, do they or do they not like it up?
I don't know.
Stupid boy.
Makes you think. Right, I'm off to look for fast show references in Breaking Bad. That crystal meth really suits you, sir. Bye.